Hi, friends. Welcome back to Budgeting Over 40. I'm Melissa, and we're here to do a reality check. So, this is a different type of video from me because I'm going to sit down and I'm going to talk to you guys and just share some of the struggles that we go through on a monthly basis and even on a paycheck to paycheck basis. So, if you're here listening in, just buckle up and we're going to get started. So, friends, we are here in YNAB. You can see that there is some money in ready to assign. And I also have one overspend category, but I do have a lot of transactions that I need to approve. So, one of the struggles that I have, and this is something that I want to get better at in 2026, and it's actually a part of my financial goals for 2026, is to become 1 month ahead. Because I find that too often I have to time bills to paychecks, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. So I've spoken so many times before that we are on the credit card float, and this video is going to demonstrate that fully to show you guys how much on the float we are. And I really want to get this fixed so we are not going through these kinds of motions every month or every paycheck period. I don't want to do this anymore. So I'm a little bit frustrated and I'm just here to share with you guys. This is the real, you guys. So if you haven't seen any of my videos, just know that we are on a debt free journey. I am trying to be debt free. As of the end of November, it is showing that I am 25 months to become debt free, and I am hoping to do that in a little less time period than that. But the first thing I have to do is to get my monthly budget or spending plan down packed so we are not going back into debt, trying to get out of debt, if that makes sense. So the first thing I'm going to do here, I'm just going to tell you. So this $54.34 that's in ready to assign, hubby did transfer, not transfer, he gave me $100 because when I did my paycheck budget with me, as of the recording of this video, I haven't even released that yet. But when I sat down to do the forecast for the paycheck that I will be receiving on Friday, December 5th, I realized that Raymore and Flanagan is set for the 5th, but the actual date is the 4th. So I made a mistake there, and I don't know what I was thinking that it was due on the 5th instead of the 4th. And I can't push that back. That's an automatic payment that comes against my account. And not only that, that's the due date. So if I paid a day later, we're going to be in trouble. So what we're going to do first, and that's what I did. I spoke to hubby about that. I told him that I'm going to need $100 extra to put towards the Raymore and Flanagan bill. I only needed like $60, but when I asked him if he had cash on him or if he had $100 that he could spare, he did say yes, and he handed me $100 in cash. Now, so far, he hasn't given any money yet. I haven't gotten paid because the date that I'm recording this video is December 3rd. Today is Wednesday. I'm due to be paid on the 5th, like I mentioned before. Sometimes the paycheck comes in 2 days early, sometimes it comes in a day early, and sometimes it comes in just the night before I'm due to be paid. So it's always guesswork, but I'm usually paid by payday, put it that way. So instead of chit chatting and carrying on, because it's going to be a lot of talking in this video, but I do have some things to show you. I'm going to jump over to all accounts because I do have some things to approve. And the next thing that we are having issues with is timing the bills to the paycheck. But not only that, the variable expenses, I do have to time those as well. And the big part of being on a credit card float is that I do have to go grocery shopping based on my work schedule. So today is Wednesday. I am off. I am also off on Thursday, but I go back to work on Friday. Now, the reason why I'm telling you guys all this is because I had to go shopping today and I needed to get something at BJ's. So you can see a pending transaction here on my Apple Card for BJ's for groceries. I had to go and I need to, approve the transaction, but I also need to split it because I did buy some consumables from BJ's and also some food items. So this is the issue that we run into ever so often, is that we have to float things on a credit card and then wait for the paycheck to come in to be able to pay those back. I don't want to do that anymore. And the position that we're in right now, we can't fix it until we have some available money. So in January, I've spoken about this. And if you've seen my 2026 budget overview, I do talk about the fact that January is going to be a high income month for us. And I'm hoping to be able to set aside money to become 1 month ahead. Now, I was saying 1 month ahead on my fixed bills, but I also need to become 1 month ahead on my variable expenses because this is the area also that we have some trouble in because groceries and consumable and gas, those are variable expenses. And right now, those are the things that we're truly floating on the credit card waiting to be paid. So I had to go shopping today. I had to put it on my Apple card, but there's no money to cover it. So we are going to be overspent until that paycheck come in. So you see the dilemma? This is something that we need to change. We can't continue to do this and it's driving me bananas. So I do work shift work and that's the reason why I say I do have to shop according to my schedule. So I do work afternoons, I do work mornings, and sometimes I do work overnight. So between sleeping, taking care of home, making sure the kids are set to go to school and all of that stuff, I have to fit in going shopping and all of that, cleaning the house and all kinds of different things in between, all the stuff that mothers or parents do. I do have to fit that in on top of working a crazy schedule. So let's go in and we're going to approve some of the transactions and we're going to see what we can cover and what can be done between now and Friday. So you can see the last transaction here. And what I want to do is I only want to show this month. And we're just going to go through the transactions as they are listed here because YNAB is where I have everything, all the goings on go here. I do use my Google Sheets because I like to show you guys how it can be done using Google Sheets. But for today, my check-in is going to be here in YNAB. So let's get started. So here you could see Amazon. I did tell you guys that we should have a return coming for the rust paint. Hubby needed this rust paint, but he needed a bigger can. The can from Amazon was very small, so he needed something bigger. And when he charged it, or when he ordered it, it was charged to my credit card. But what he ended up doing was returning it, and then he's going to get, and I actually already get it today, but he had it charged to the business because it was really supposed to be a business expense. So the $48.33 came back and it went back to the furnishings and improvement category in my budget. So we can go ahead and approve this. Next, I did receive the cash back when he charged the card, but because I did a return, they did take some money back from the cash back. So 48 cents was what they took back. So we have to approve that as well. The $100 that he gave me, I did put it into the bank because that is going to be where the Raymore and Flanagan charge is going to go. So I didn't really need the cash, but that's what he had available. So let's go ahead and approve that one as well. And you could see this is the transfer. This is the second part of it. So from my wallet to my personal account, there's always two parts to those in YNAB. Then I did receive $5.84 from Side Hustle Funds. This is sales on Ko-Fi. So thank you guys for going in and purchasing the spreadsheets. I am actually getting sales every so often, and I do appreciate that. So thank you. Then I did have a deposit of 6 cents on from my Apple card because this gets deposited into my Apple High Yield Savings account each time I do a purchase. So I do apply this to cashback and rewards. So 6 cents, and I'm gonna have to remember to take this 6 cents out of the money that's over in ready to assign. So remind me of that. That's 6 cents, you guys. Remind me that I need to take that out. Then you could see here, Amazon for furnishings. It's not really, I did buy myself some new pens because the inks that I have in my pens at home, I do like the erasable pens. That's what I use to write in my planners. And I'm going to try to minimize things and I'm going to try to keep it. I do like paper and pencil, but I do have a planner that I plan my day to day in, not just the budget stuff. So I use the erasable inks for that, and I needed to order new pens. So $6.16. I'm going to take that out of pocket money because that is how I consider my personal spending is pocket money. So this is new pens, and that was $6.16. Now, what I'm going to do before I forget, I'm going to just jump over to the plan and I'm going to put this 6 cents that's here, I'm going to put it into the annual subscriptions because that's where that money goes when I get any kind of cash back from charging anything to my Apple Card. So let's jump over. We're going to go down to subscriptions. My computer is doing a little bit of weird things. I don't know if you guys are going to see it, but it's taking a lot of time to move and then it gets pixelated. So the 6 cents is going to go into the debt payoff planner. I actually do assign the cash back from the smallest expense or the smallest annual expense to the largest. So we are working on the debt payoff planner right now. When we're done, we're going to move to Google Cloud. All right, so we did take the 6 cents out of that. Let's go back over to the transactions. And I'm actually going to enter these, even though they're pending, I'm going to enter them now because I want to split them and not forget. So first things first, because I was going to the bulk stores, I do tell you guys that the bulk stores are about an hour away from my home. I needed to get gas, so I spent $82 at the Shell gas station to fill up the car. We're going to enter that. It's not going to clear until Apple pulls in or till YNAB pulls in the transaction for my Apple Card. Next, I went to ShopRite, and this was all groceries for $127.71. I'm going to go ahead and approve that as well. And then I went to BJ's, but for BJ's, I do have to split the transaction. And if you hear rustling, it's because I'm looking at my receipt right now. I actually spent $206.39, and that's not bad for a BJ's shop. So I'm going to split the transaction. I don't usually show you guys all of this. I usually go into Google Sheets and show you how I do things here in there, but I don't usually show you guys in YNAB. So there's going to be household consumable and there's going to be groceries. So for household consumable, what I did buy was deodorant, and I also buy toilet paper. So that's what I spent. And the deodorant was for me. I was almost out and I decided to just get a 5 pack from BJ's because I usually do buy them from CVS, but I just decided to buy a 5 pack. And when I looked at the price and compared to what I would have paid at CVS for one, it was worth buying 5 at BJ's. And since I was in the store already, I just went ahead and do that. So what I do have to do is put the $13.49 for the deodorant, and I'm looking at my receipt. Okay, and then I also bought the toilet paper. So the toilet paper, you guys, was for $39.99, and I was like, oh my goodness. I almost walked out when I saw the price, but we needed to get toilet paper. And there is no coupons for that. I thought I had a coupon, but there's no coupons on there. But anyway, I think that's all I spent as far as consumables go for the house. Yes, that was it. So that should give me $53.48 in consumables. Then what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do 152.91 and I'm going to subtract the tax that I paid because I think the tax needs to go on the household consumable stuff, not necessarily. Actually, no. It's charging me tax on a few different things. So it charged me tax on the deodorant, it charged me tax on the toilet paper, and it also charged me tax on juice boxes for the kids to go to school. That's kind of crazy. So I do have to split the taxes among all of them. I paid $6.17 for the taxes. So you can see here it leaves an amount remaining to assign to the category $6.17. So I'm going to approve it. Then it's going to ask me what I want to do with the amount that's left over. And I want to order distribute it. So it's going to put a little bit to the consumables and a little bit to the groceries. So that's it. I can go ahead and approve this transaction. And then, you guys, there is a New York State DMV fee here for $336.50. So, where we live in New York, we do get snow, and our driveway is very long. It's probably, I can't even tell you how long it is, but it's very long, and we do have to plow it ourselves. The landlord doesn't take care of that. That is something that we're responsible to do. So years ago, when we first moved into the house, hubby bought a quad, an ATV, and he did put a plow on the front. But every year since we've lived in this house, it has been an issue using the quad to plow the yard, or the driveway. But anyway, he decided that he wanted to purchase a vehicle that he could put a quad on, not a quad, but put a plow on the front, and he's going to use it for multiple reasons. So after I went to the DMV, and so he bought, okay, back up a little bit. He bought a new Jeep. He paid about, I think he said he paid about $600 for the Jeep. It had some minor mechanical issues that he fixed himself, and he's throwing a plow on the front. Now, he wanted to register the vehicle under our personal insurance instead of under the business insurance because it would increase the business insurance a lot more than it would increase our personal vehicle insurance. So I went to the DMV this morning. I registered the vehicle. But after I called him and I was like, listen, it costs $336.50. He was like, you know what? We should have paid it out of the business account because not only is he going to use it for personal reasons, but he also is going to use it for the business as well. So hubby is an all-around guy. He does everything. When I tell you guys, this man is talented, and I'm tooting his horn because he needs to be, it needs to be spoken about. He is very talented. He can do everything. Now, his trade is a mechanic, but he can do masonry work. He can do carpentry. He can do everything. This man is talented. Now, where we live, we can do a lot of cleaning. So while he's going to be home, he may not do a lot of work mechanic wise in the winter, but he can use that plow to clear driveways or different areas for money. So because he's going to do that, he said, you know what, let's charge it to the business. And he did tell me I could transfer the 336.50 from the business account back into the account to cover this DMV charge. So the insurance right now doesn't look like it's going to increase by much. They did send me my renewal because I am due to renew the insurance in January. So the insurance will increase in 2026. And I wasn't happy about that. But we will make some extra money using this new vehicle with the plow to make some money on the sides. But anyway, that's a long a way around. This is something I was going to tell you guys about, but before I started recording, he said that I could go ahead and charge it to the business, but it was already charged to my Apple Card, so I'm going to put it under car tags. This is for new Jeep, and he did say to send this money back. So I'm going to enter this now, but I'm also going to enter a transaction into my personal account. This is going to come from the business account. Instead of saying hubby, it's not going to go to business expense. It's going to go to ready to assign for $336.50. So this money is back in my account. The transaction wasn't pulled into YNAB just yet because I just transferred the money. So what else do we have to approve? It's still saying one. So, all right, you guys, you can see interest charge right here. Oh my goodness. So remember, I did talk about having some issues with paying the full statement balance for my Apple Card in the month of November. Now, I wasn't able to cover that. And because I wasn't able to, you guys, $41.09 was what I got charged for interest. I have not paid interest on my Apple Card in so long. And this hurt. When I saw that statement, you guys, I was like, oh my goodness, this is bad. So now I'm rethinking things because in 2026, my whole goal was to pay off all kinds of different things, but I need to refocus, I need to rethink, and I need to readjust and see what order I need to pay things off because $41, I can't be throwing that to the bank. No, no, no. We're not doing that. So we need to figure out how to cover the balance of my Apple Card. And the thing about it is, even if I'm able to cover that in the month of December, I still will have some residual charges of interest to pay in the month of January. I forgot what they called it when they told me. I think they call it trailing interest, because when I finally was able to pay off my statement balance and another month rolled around and they charged me interest, and I reached out to them and I was like, wait a minute, you guys, I paid my statement balance. Why are you charging me interest? They said it was trailing interest. So I need to figure out how to cover my Apple Card balance every month so I am not paying any interest. And it's going to be tough because a lot of things that I was charging to my Apple Card, I don't do anymore. And because I'm being very intentional on spending and trying to cut it down. So all of my variables get charged to my Apple Card. Anything like all the shopping and stuff you could see here, the DMV charge was to my Apple Card, the BJ's and the gas, Amazon, those things get charged to my Apple Card. But I have been cutting back on my spending, so it's not a lot, and my Apple Card balance at the end of November was $3,050. So trying to cover $3,050 in a month is becoming a little bit tough. And this is why we need to figure some things out. So those are all the transactions that I needed to talk about. No, wait a minute, I have one more. So on my way out, I stopped at McDonald's and I picked up a sausage McGriddle, which is my favorite, and also a hash brown. And I paid, I think, $8.90. Let's look at my receipt. Yes, $8.90 for breakfast because I was out the house very early and I just wanted to treat myself to a McGriddle. So that's it. No more transactions for the rest of the day so far. One thing I need to do though is pay my electric bill because it is due today, and that's going to get charged to my Apple Card as well and be floated on the credit card till I can cover it out of my check on Friday. So, you guys, this is the whole dilemma. So now we have $390.84, but what I want to do is cover the car tags because that's what the money was sent over for. So the 335.50. So I had some money in car tags. So what I'm going to do, instead of covering the overspending, I do want whatever was there to remain. So we're going to do 336.50 in assign, and it was only $1. Oh wow. Anyway, so now we're still left with the $54.34. So one thing that I do want to do is look at the overspending. I have household consumable, dining out, groceries, car fuel, and pocket money. So dining out was cash that I paid at McDonald's. So I'm going to cover that out of ready to assign. I'm going to cover the pocket money out of ready to assign as well. And I'm going to cover the household consumable out of ready to assign. Before I do that, let's go back one. Let's go back one. So in furnishings and improvement, because I did get that refund into the category, it's saying now that I have $165.98 in this category, and all I need really is $128 for right now. So let's do 165 minus 128 because that's the cost for Raymore and Flanagan. So we can leave 128 in the category, and that's going to cover the Raymore and Flanagan that's going to come out tomorrow. So now we still have a little bit of money we can move around. So let's go ahead and cover household consumable out of ready to assign. And I hope you guys are following. I'm moving through it a little bit quickly because I'm so used to doing this off camera, but I hope that you guys are understanding what I'm doing. So the groceries, I do have 278.97 to cover, and we only have $52.13. Now, that's going to have to sit and wait on the credit card until some more money come in on Friday, maybe tomorrow, Thursday. So we're going to send this $52.13. We're going to send that to, let's cover the fuel for the car. And then we're left with $29.87 to cover out of my next paycheck. So this is not terrible. We still have 2 overspending, and that's going to move into our next paycheck for December 5th. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to each account and I'm going to go ahead and reconcile just so let's view all the transactions here. We're going to reconcile just to make sure what the bank balance is saying is what it's saying in YNAB. So my clear balance is 166.82. So you could see there, it's just the 336.50 that was inflowed from the business is not cleared as yet. Let's go down to the Apple Card. My Apple Card balance, this gives me a little bit of a problem because I do have that installment for my AirPods. And because that is on the account, it's given me a lot of trouble to have that pretty reconciled view that comes up. So I'm going to show you, it's going to show me here. My balance isn't that. And the reason why it's throwing $3,070.90 is because these aren't cleared just yet. So we're not going to reconcile the Apple Card just yet. We're going to leave that. We're going to go to the bills account. It's all reconciled. My wallet, I do have $47.69 in there. I just checked before I started recording. So we're going to reconcile. Yes, that is my balance. And you could see that it adds lock to all of these just to make sure we're on that page. For my Apple High Yield Savings account, there was just one transaction that came in new. You can see that both balance match up. So there we go. And then we're going to go back to the plan. All right, so we're good. But what I do want to do here, I do want to go in and this is things that I'm going to do after I sign off here. So I am going to add a transaction to pay the balance that's here because 423.09 is an available amount that I have to pay to the card. So I'm going to go ahead and record the payment. I will be doing that shortly on my Apple Card. So 423.09. Let's go ahead and save that. And then we're going to go ahead and enter the transaction to pay my electric bill. So PSE&G, the bill is going to be for 141. This is going to be paid on my Apple Card. And now we're going to have one more overspending to cover. So you can see the total overspending here for my Apple Card is 449.84. That's going to be something that I need to cover as soon as I get paid. So now we're up to 3 overspend categories because now the electric bill is included. And like I said, this is something that I'm going to do as soon as I sign off of here after I'm done recording. So you guys, this is the dilemma. This is what we go through on a monthly basis, is that we have to float things on credit cards until we are paid and we can use the paycheck to cover. So I want to stop doing this. I want to have amounts available in my categories waiting for the bills to come in, not the bills waiting for the money to be paid. So I hope you guys are following. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know if you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you would do differently. There's not much that I can see, in my position that we could do differently. This is how things has been going on for the last few months, and we're trying to break this cycle. So come 2026, you guys, this is what we're going to change. We need to change from what we're doing right now. This can't go on. So that's it for this video, you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys on payday. Bye now.